Okay, welcome to 6 Weeks to Success, and this is week number 5. I'm Kristen Kinchin, and tonight the call is going to be led by my friend Janet Moffett. So I'm very excited to have her on board, and I'm going to turn it over to her, and she'll introduce herself and then take it away. So take it away, Janet.
All right. Hi. I wonder if I shouldn't have screen shared so soon because nobody gets to see me, but that may be okay too.
Yeah, we do. You're in the little
you can see me? Oh,
yeah,
good. Okay. Hi. I'm Janet. All right. Well, you guys did it. Week 5. Woohoo! This has been great. I don't know about you guys, but I have learned so much, and this has been so good for me. And I'm super excited to actually start over again with week 1 and do more of this with my team. Since several of them weren't able to participate in this, but this has been fantastic for me, and I hope you have found it just as helpful for you guys. So congratulations, you did it. You made it to week 5. So let's just go ahead and get started with what you've learned so far. And Kristen, is it Kira? Just jump in if you have any questions or want to make a comment. Just, interrupt me or do whatever you need to do. Feel free to do that. So far we've learned you've got to increase your product knowledge in order to maximize your sales and your bookings. No matter where you are in your career, working on product knowledge is just going to be an ongoing process. And it can be fun, so much fun. You've learned that your belief decides what you believe you can and cannot do, and that your brain can be retrained. Maybe hard, but you can do it. You've learned how to talk to people out and about, how to book parties at your shows, and words to say at both. You've learned that your passion shines through and can completely influence purchases and bookings at parties. I know when you are just excited and your guest and host can feel that excitement and see that excitement, your parties are just going to be so much more successful because everybody's had a wonderful time and they just want to continue that. So letting that passion shine through is just so great. You've learned that you have to coach effectively to keep your sales high, your bookings at every party high, and a constant pool of leads. I know host coaching. Kristen is the queen of host coaching. I've learned a lot from her and from this program. And, that's an area that I know I need to improve on. And I've learned quite a bit through this training as well. You've learned that your skills will make a huge difference in every party. When you know your product, you can sell your product. When you know what you say, how to respond to objections, turn maybes into yeses. And when you tweak your host coaching skills, you have a much bigger parties with much better results. Host coaching is where you earn your paycheck, and at the party is where you pick it up. I printed off. Have you guys done the printed off the yellow, what does she call it? The Yellow Brick Road to $1,000 Show.
Where did you get that? I'm not familiar with that.
Oh, Jennifer Courtney. I thought we had used this on a previous training for hosting.
No, it was the fridge reminder is what I
right. Okay, that's what this is. But she refers to it as the Yellow Brick Road to host coaching. But it is the fridge reminder. I just picked up on that Yellow Brick Road and somewhere, and I'm organizing my office, so I won't be able to find it right now. I actually printed it. I redid it a little bit. I tweaked it just because it is in the format you guys sent it out in. It is editable. Is that a word? Editable? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We know what you mean, at least.
So I did edit it just a little bit for my personality. I didn't want it all just looking like Jennifer. And actually, this is Jennifer's original because it's got her name on it. So obviously, you're going to have to edit it. I really wish I could find mine. But I thought it was really cool to print it off in yellow because then it just really pops when you send it to your host. And have you started using this at all? Or
I actually just edited that, and I actually put it in. I made 2 copies actually, and I just sent them off today in host packets.
Oh, good.
Well, good for you, Kira.
I edited down far enough because I do strictly virtual parties, so I edited it just down to my virtual parties.
Right, because that way you could tweak it. And see, I wanted to do another edit as well that applied to my virtual parties too. I think that's a great idea because when you host coach virtual parties is just as important as host coaching your live kitchen shows. So I really should do that as well. But she has had a wealth of information on that. And I felt like when I looked at it and there were like 14 things, so I combined and tweaked it to where there wasn't quite 14. I think there was still like 10, but it seemed a little bit, and I also had a hard time fitting it all into one page. I don't know why I couldn't print it that way, but.
I don't know if you noticed or not, but I didn't notice until I actually printed it that she's got it in landscape.
Yes, my husband, because I was frustrated, he came in and said, honey, it's in landscape. And then
I got it in landscape, and I actually took mine from 14 to 8.
Yeah, and I decreased the margins a lot too. I mean, I really played with this a lot. That's why it's frustrating that I can't find it now. I'm going to be really sad if I have to redo this. No, I'm sure it's saved on my computer, but I think that was really a great thing for host coaching, and really the checklist for them and for us is, for me, that's very helpful. I need to see it in writing. Okay, so we also learned that recruiting is just a conversation. You learn that you can do an interview live with your recruiting cards, over Zoom with PowerPoint presentation, or over the phone with a 7-question recruiting. And, recruiting is just sharing. It's absolutely just sharing. And you learn that we're still building your skills. So no matter how long you've been in the business, we're still building our skills. Okay. So do you have any questions on conducting an opportunity chat, or do you feel prepared to be able to do that easily? Hi, Dondi. Welcome. So any questions about that? Think you can do it? All right. Well, we'll just move on because we do have quite a few to get through, and I want to respect your time tonight. So customer service, that's what tonight we're going to talk about, is customer service, and we want ours to be excellent. Customer service really is what sets us apart from everybody else. Who are your guests going to think of when they need something? You, but only if they like you and if they remember you. So are there some things that you do, just a couple real quick, that you do that just sets you apart with your customer service? Can you think of anything? How are they going to remember you, Kristen?
Well, one thing I do, and I don't know that they remember me, but it's for me to do a good conversation and be friendly and personable with them, is that I do name tags at my live parties. As people are coming in the door, usually the host is welcoming them at the door, but as soon as they come into the party or wherever we're having it, I have a conversation with them. I ask their name. I do a name tag, have a little conversation with them to get to know them. So hopefully, through that conversation, they're getting to know me a little bit better as well.
Yeah,
so
that's a great idea.
One thing at my parties that I do.
I've done that a few times, but not consistently, and it probably would just help me too, because I have a terrible time remembering names. So it would probably just be helpful for me as well.
Yeah, I'm horrible with names, and so I love doing the name tags, because it also gives me an excuse to go up and talk to them. Because we know we should do that. So if I'm with name tags in hand, that's why I'm going up and talking to everybody. It's not like I'm being weird about it, but that's what I do. So, and
you don't miss anybody. Right. You've gotten every single person. So, all right, good job. All right, so it keeps jumping like that. Sorry. One good service experience can change a customer's entire perception about you and your business. Customers are your greatest asset, so maintaining relationships is one of the most important things about your business. You want to keep them happy and coming back. They'll generate sales, increase bookings, bring new consultants onto your team, and help you earn more money. And they'll also refer you to their friends. If their interaction with you has been good, then they will be much more likely to refer you to their friend. Your friend's talking about their cooking dinner last night and their stupid can opener broke and they don't, they just don't know what to do. And you know what? My Pampered Chef lady, that is the best can opener ever. If they have a good memory of you, then they're going to refer you to others. And I think that's huge about, generating sales, bookings, that's fantastic. But it still comes down to just they appreciate the relationship they have with you, and they want to refer you to their friends and family. It's important to consistently add new customers to your list, but you've already done the hard work with your existing customers. So taking the time to provide ongoing service to them will result in customer loyalty, more sales, and just a really healthy business. I know so many times now our the sales that we get off of our website and things, you know, as the years pass and that list gets bigger and bigger, those people just keep coming back to you because you're you and they know what to expect with you. And sometimes it's just the little things. We're going to talk about 222, but I had several years ago had a consultant call me, and she just placed her very first Pampered Chef show. And she had a customer that was really frustrated because of the shipping. And somehow there had been a mistake. I can't remember all the exact details, but the order didn't process with the party, and it got processed as an individual order. So she ended up paying, you know, a couple of dollars more for shipping. And so she was just furious, and the consultant called and just was saying, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? You know, she's so upset, and she's talking bad about me. She'll never order again. And I said, just refund her the difference. You pay it. It's a couple of dollars. It will mean so much. You know, apologize for the mistake. Just give her the money back. And if you know, even a little extra gift, or, you know, a season's best, but, you know, it's worth it just to keep her happy. And it's just such a little thing for us. So that was just a story about customer service that I shared just early on. Is, you know, you're not going to make everybody happy, but certainly try to make those that you can happy. So we're going to introduce a customer service method that is 222. Have any of you ever heard of this one? 222. All right. So it's simple. It's easy. I've heard it so many times. I do it, but not as consistently as I should. So this is really motivating me to definitely implement this and make it more consistent in my own personal business, because when I do it, I'll share with you a little bit what happens when I do this consistently, when I do this. Within 2 days after every show, sent everyone who attended the party a group email within 24 hours. Now, do you know how to do that? Send group emails to people who've attended your parties? Okay. All right. So within 24 hours, thank them for coming and reiterate how much fun the party was. And I know Kristen does this because she's the one that actually told me about it. I didn't know you could do this, and she was talking about it many months ago. Or
I don't do it. I don't do it as a group email. I just use the thank you email through the websites.
Right. Well,
through your website with the party, but still, I do send the thank you.
Yeah. I wonder if that's not what she meant when she did this PowerPoint.
I'm not sure, but I just use the thank you note
right.
through the website.
From the from the party where the show page is and everything. Yeah. When she was explaining it, that's what she's using. So I think her verbiage was just different there. Just thank them for coming and reiterate how much fun the party was. Remind the guests about the opportunity to host their own parties, entice them with host rewards, plant the seeds for consulting opportunities, personalize the email to your new friends with a fun snapshot that you took during the party. And that's actually kind of a neat idea. I know more and more people are doing that. They're going live at their parties. So if you've created an event, or your host created an event for the party, then they'll go live and just do a little bit of a fun little thing about, you know, look how great this recipe is. We did Chipotle nacho dip and everybody just loves it, and just kind of span the room and then take a couple of snapshots. And you can actually include a picture on your email. With mine, here's some more words to say. And this actually comes from the website, and again, you can tweak it to fit your own personality. Thanks for coming. I want to extend a big thank you to everybody who came to Susie's party last night. It was great to meet you. I can't wait for the next party. If you're interested in hosting the next one, please let me know. We can have a fantastic time again. You know, I'm not going to read this whole thing because you're intelligent and you can read it. And honestly, I wouldn't copy and paste this. I would tweak it, or copy, paste it, and then edit it. Make it your own personality. Make sure it sounds like something you would say. I'm not going to say, dear new friends and amazing chefs, if half the ladies at that party told me they hated cooking. So I'm going to change that a little bit. So don't make it sound like something that came from home office. Make sure, not to say their stuff isn't good, but remember, it's a skeleton that you get to fill in the flesh and the meat. It's not exactly how you should say it. Put your personality into it, because remember, you want them to remember you, not just something that's rubber stamped. The same thing can be said in a phone call, and if you need a script for a phone call, have something in front of you, go ahead and write it out yourself. And And I know that's helpful for me as well, is to have the words in front of me until you've said it enough that you're familiar with it. A lot of times, especially now, I'm texting. On my customer care card that I actually created one myself, your door prize drawing slip, I asked them at the checkout, I asked them, what's the best way for me to talk and communicate with you? And really 80% of my customers are saying text. And so I'll make note of that. And if that's what they say, well, I'm not going to send them an email. I'm going to send them a text. And so I do a lot of texting with my customer care follow-up. And I find I just get such better response. I will make phone calls. But if I get a voicemail, instead of somebody answering, I immediately text them as well. Hey, just left you a voicemail and the same thing. But I do like to do that. And so if I text, it's obviously not going to be quite this long. And sometimes what I like to say personally is, it was so good to meet you, or I'm really glad I got to see you again, if they're a repeat customer. Is there a question that you have that you weren't able to ask me last night? That just opens the door. If it's a product question, if it's a booking question, if it's an opportunity question, that's something I like to ask you in my text and my phone calls or anything is, did you have a question you would like to ask me that you just didn't have a chance to last night? Because so many times it's busy, it's crazy. The last party I did the other night, there were 3 infants under the age of 6 months and about 12 children. And they were great, and I can handle that because I'm used to a lot of children, but they were in and out, and the babies. So I know there was times conversations were just interrupted, and somebody fell off the slide, and this one, 2 of the little girls bumped heads, and if your moms know, and multiply that, it was crazy. I think. And what was funny is they were apologizing to me until I told them how many kids I had, and then they're like, "You're used to this." Yes. I never had 3 infants at once, but okay, that's all right. There was like 14 moms. They could handle it. And it was a fun party.
How many children Janet has?
Oh, does not everybody know? I have 13 children. So, but I did. So I'm used to lots of children in my home, and and I do welcome them in my parties. Kids in the kitchen, that's huge to me. So that's something that with my customer service and my business, I'm able to use that because I want that mom to come to my shows no matter what. If that means she has to bring her baby, her toddler, or both, I want her there. And if I have teenage daughters, I will offer to bring a babysitter. I'm able to do that. And so that's just a customer care that I'm able to, because that's my heart is moms. So anyway, I don't want to get distracted on that. So that is 2 days. Within 2 days of your party. And I really like to do it within 24 hours. And the statistics say people lose interest, 10% of their interest every 24 hours. So if you wait 3, 4, 5 days, you've lost a lot. And when I know every time I do that, and I ask that question, was there something you wanted to ask? And then I wait and listen, and then I can go on from there. Okay, I've got your order here. I'm just verifying everything. Was there anything else you might have wanted? There has not been a time that I've done this when I haven't added at least $100 to my parties, a minimum of $100, just in making those phone calls. Like, you know what? I did. I wanted that quick stir picture. Or talk to my husband, and I think I'm going to go ahead and order that, the food shopper. Can you put it on my order? So even though I'm in direct ship and I can submit my orders right away, I don't, because I want to give myself a chance to ask, was there anything else I could put on your order? So I have to do it within 24 to 48 hours because I don't want to delay their orders very long. So that is something I definitely do within, I'm trying really hard to do it every single time. Occasionally I'll miss, but that really is a goal. And right now I've been pretty successful with maintaining that this summer. So 2 weeks after your show, so you got 2 days now, 2 weeks after your show is a great time for follow-up. They've had a chance to get their product, and it should have been delivered. And if not, it's good for you to know it hasn't been delivered. I did a bridal party earlier this summer, and I didn't do this with the bridal party because part of the orders went to the bride, part of the orders went to the customers. It was a little bit chaotic, and I didn't follow up with every customer like I should. And I had somebody call me like almost 2 months later and say, oh, I never got my order. And I went back and looked, and it had all been sent to the bride. So my customer care that was really kind of my mistake. So I ended up having to purchase her items and have them shipped to her. She was happy with it in the end, but we weren't going to go say to the bride, oh, by the way, that deep dish pie plate was not supposed to be for you. Would you give it to? I just had to buy another one, but it was okay. So 2 weeks after the show, you're going to call and say, hey, how are you loving that bar pan? Have you gotten out of the box yet? So many times like, oh, I got it, but yeah, it's just sitting in the box. Well, get it out. What are you going to do for dinner? Offer her to email her a couple of recipes that she can use with the bar pan. And then you can also talk to her about, again, if perhaps she was interested in hosting a party, or have you thought any more about hosting a party? Just depending on what you've already developed a relationship with her, because you talked to her at the party, then you talk to her again 2 days later, then you can see if she had any indication she might want to do something. You can talk to her again about that. And, here's verbiage that you can use if you want. I think there's a little bit of a mistake here. To make sure you're totally happy with your products, simply let host office. I think this is supposed to be home office. No.
Would be my guess, because that's the phone number.
Yes. I would never do this to my customers personally. I would never give my customers home office's number to call on something they ordered from me. That is my job. But this is your business, and you can do it however you want. And knowing if they call home office, it's going to be a good experience. But for me, I want to handle any problem that they have. But that's an option for you if you want to use it. So you can say that in an email. It's the same thing with a phone call. I feel like I get more response from phone calls or texting than emails, unless they specifically have asked me to email. I think it's more personal to do a phone call or a text. That's 2 weeks after the show. 2 months after the show. Check in regularly with service-oriented communication that will keep Pampered Chef on everybody's mind. So again, the newsletter, if you've already signed them up for the newsletter, they're going to have them get in the newsletter. So hopefully they see you, they see your face, they see your name. But you just want to check in again and say, hey, how are you liking that bar pan? Did you get my recipes? Is there anything else I can do for you? Build on the relationship that you've already developed. I'm going to show you something here. This is just a system that works for me. I use cards because I know there's things you can do electronically, and you can adapt this electronically. And I'm just going to pull it out a little bit, but I have cards. I don't want to mess up my thing here. I have this card, and it's a larger card. It's bigger than this is a 3x5, so it's a little bigger than a 3x5. And it's got just the months of the year. And what I do is in this folder, I put my customer care cards, or I've got a color-coded system for myself with my hosts are pink, fundraisers are orange, recruits are green, customer care is purple, consultants are white, Facebook parties are blue. So I have, you can buy these 3x5 cards at the dollar store, and I use a color-coded system that just works for me. And when I know I need to talk to somebody, I write their name and phone number, any information I need on the card, and I make notes to myself. And if I need to call them in 2 months, well, it's August now, I know to slip it into October. And during the month of October, I pull out all those cards, whether it's customer care cards, because I've got, some of them are just on slips of paper because I haven't reverted everything to the color-coded system yet. And if it's a customer care card, these are some of the ones I used at a vendor event. They're a little bit different, but they all fit in here. And so I can put them in the month I know I need to contact that person. So this month I've got August out, and I'm looking through it constantly, because if I call somebody like, oh, I'm busy, call me back in 2 days, then I'm going to write that on there and put it back in my file. I know some of you use your phone reminders and things that way. Whatever works for you, but you need to develop a system to contact people that's 2 days, 2 weeks, and 2 months. And this really works well for me and my brain. So I don't want my customers to drop through the cracks. And I know in the past that's happened. When I do a show, if she hasn't already, so if I do a show this month in August, I'm going to try and rebook her in 6 months, which is February. So if I don't get her on my calendar when I'm closing her party, I will put her card in February. So I know to contact her, and I'll call her back then and say, hey, you did your show in August. It's been 6 months, blah, blah, blah. Do you want to do another show? So I don't let my host fall through the cracks, because I want my host to do at least one party a year and preferably 2 parties a year. Because again, if you've already got these customers, it's easier to keep a customer than constantly getting new ones, although we are constantly getting new ones. But if you really want to fill that calendar, then keep rebooking your hosts. All right, so the words to say on emails, again, you can read this, but they're the same on an email as you would a phone call, but I really would encourage you to develop your own dialogue. You can look at these and get some ideas. And depending on your customer, you may have had a customer and you did your full service checkout and she said, I don't want to do parties. I'm not a party person. I don't want to have people in my home. I hate Facebook. So that's not even an option. But I will always buy from you. So you don't want to keep harassing her about having a party. For me, I'm not. If she has said no, and I have customers that do not ever want to have a party, but they always place orders, and they're always large orders. So I want to keep her happy. I'm not going to keep her happy if I keep asking her to do a party. If there's any hint or indication that she might, well, yes, of course you can keep asking her and things that way. But just be careful with these that you're not sounding like you're reading it. That's why I'm not reading it tonight. I don't want to sound like I'm just reading something. I want it to be from my heart. Okay, you can also use this time to check up on anybody who purchased seasonings. Now, this is really a great idea that I haven't done, but I could probably implement that into the system I have here with color coded. I'm going to have to get another color. I have to get a seasoning color. But people who order seasonings, how long does it take to get that you're going to get through those? Now, at my house, it's every month, but some places it may be like every 3 or 4 months. But if somebody's placed an order, especially if they've done several seasonings, you might want to call them back and say, hey, are you out of your dill spice yet? Or do you need some more of that Southwestern seasoning mix? I'm placing an order. So that's a great way to add a little bit to a party. And typically people don't want to spend $5 to $7 on shipping just for one spice. So you can say, hey, did you need any gifts right now or anything else? So that's another great way to cross-sell items and things is with keeping in contact with those that ordered seasonings. That is our consumable product. A food chopper is going to last at least 5 years, but your Italian seasoning mix is not. Okay. Again, don't freak out about these customer care calls. You're calling a friend. That's what you want to be, a friend to them. So just talk to them, email them, or text them just like you would a friend. It's just a conversation. And if you get the feeling that you're being, overly business, then ask her about her dog. Just, it's okay. You don't have to always bring it back to Pampered Chef. You're building a relationship. So we're working on our skills. And again, this one we're working on the pillars of success, and this was on skill. It's just customer service is definitely a skill. And one of the things that I've heard over and over is people really don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I think customer care follow-up calls are showing them that you really do care. It's not just about upselling or booking a party, although those are very important. It's definitely about showing them that you care. And if you get to know them and what type of cook that they are, how their family dynamics, then you can really lead them to products that, like Pampered Chef's desire is to solve problems in the kitchen. And you can help them solve problems or things they're having in the kitchen and not just be trying to sell them something else that's going to end up in a closet that never came out of the box. They never heard from you again. They're frustrated because they don't know how to make that stupid cheese grater work because the handle's closed and they can't figure out how to open the handle. So call them and walk them through things like that so they'll know you really do care. One of the things I didn't talk about on when calling them is running reports, but there are ways to run reports to find out who bought spices and things that way. But that's a whole nother training session that I'm not, would not be good at. But there are ways. If you go to consultants, what is it? Where is it that you running the reports? Where is that? What is that? Consultant?
It's in Consultants Corner under selling. There's personal business reports.
Yeah. So there, play with that. If you're really that type of person that you like to look at reports and who ordered what and how many of what, that's something that really grabs you. Go in there and look at that, and you can see things that, popular items that you're selling and or who's ordered what and things that way. The more you tweak your skills, the more you learn about selling, host coaching, booking, recruiting, customer service, and the better your business is going to be. The bigger your skill, the bigger your paycheck. If you're going to do a party, you might as well do $1,000 party as a $200 party. And customer care, follow-up and things that way are going to have you, have more successful parties. And ultimately, then your host is going to get more free products. She's going to be happier. And so everybody's happier. So keep honing your skills. That's something that you're never going to stop doing is honing the skills. So are there any questions? Are you good?
I don't have a question, but just a comment about the importance of customer service, as you've been saying, is, you've met these customers and you want to keep them. Again, it's easier, to keep your customers, and it really sets you apart because not everybody, and probably very few people, really are diligent about customer service. So if you offer it, you're making these contacts, you're going to be the one that's going to stand out, and that's how you're going to be remembered.
Yeah, absolutely.
People will keep coming back to you and refer people to you.
Yeah, definitely. Because they're going to feel safe with you, and they'll be able to confidently refer their friends and family your way because they know you're going to take care of them. All right, so your call to action. Are you still making your 15 contacts a week? Follow the chef steps, 4 steps to customer loyalty. So you're going to connect, commit to 2 days, 2 weeks, and 2 months. You're going to help and appreciate. You're going to share recipes, give suggestions. I've kind of worked on my Pinterest account where I've got boards with recipes by product, but it's ongoing and it's not complete yet. And I do give my customers the information, but honestly, just referring them back to my website, the recipes are all there. So sometimes I'm thinking, why am I spending time even doing this Pinterest thing when it's already on Pampered Chef's website? When you're going to look for a recipe, just, go to my website because it's already there. So
and along those lines, people don't realize they can use the recipe search by tool. They think I just have to look it up by, most recipe searches are by, chicken or strawberries or, whatever.
Right.
Whereas they don't realize that the Pampered Chef one, you can search by tool. So if they do have a question about a tool, like you said, direct them to your website and say, oh, by the way, put that tool in the search engine, you're going to get a lot of recipes.
Right. So put in bar pan and you can get all the recipes for a bar pan. Yes. Yeah, that's something I have been sharing with my customers because I don't think they realize that. And, even if they say, oh, I love that recipe tonight, I've already got it printed out, and I encourage them, you can take a picture of it if they want to, but go to my website. It's on the website. I want them to get my website into bookmark it so that they can find it easily. Future contacts. So follow back up when their wish list goes on sale or a new recipe is shared that's perfect for their purchases, the things they ordered, and when products come out. So here's a video. Here's a link to a video. And I think we'll probably post that. Kristen, will you put that somewhere?
Yeah.
And start a lead notebook to start and track who you've talked to, what they said, and any concerns or your next follow-up. So that's what I did with my box here with all my, like I said, I do it by the month. I have seen people break out the month into weeks. For me, I just go through them. Maybe I'm making extra work, but I just did it by the month, not by the week. It was easier for me to just pull out a whole month and I could go through it and decide when I wanted to call somebody and make notes on it. But whatever works for you, a spiral notebook. If you're an electronic person, then figure out a system that way. But whatever make a system that you will be able to maintain either right now if your business isn't as large, but can you still do that when your business is 4 times as big as it is now? Because by December it is. Your business is going to be 4 times what it is now. So you're going to need to have your systems in place now. No, seriously, this is our busiest selling season that's coming up. It will get bigger and busier, which is awesome. So whatever you're doing right now, you want to be able to maintain that. So be sure and set up a system. And feel free, if you have any more questions about what I'm doing specifically, you can message me on Facebook. If you're not my friend, you can friend me, and I'll be happy to share anything that I've got. I am still a work in progress as well, but I'm happy to share what has worked for me. Thank you for coming. I don't want to keep you. We've been about a little over 30 minutes, so I appreciate you guys for coming. Week 5, woohoo! 1 more week.
Woo!
So we will see you all
for joining us again.
Yes, thank you so much, and we'll see you guys next Tuesday night.
Yes,
Thank
for our
you.
last call.
Thank you. Okay.
Thanks, Janet.
Oh, thanks,
You're
Kristen.
awesome. Appreciate you.
Sure. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.